Now, with the discussion panel, I'm going to get the opportunity to ask some questions, and I've been listening to the presentations and listening to the sort of things that have been of interest to you. And so I've got a couple of questions here that I want to address to the panel to really keep them talking about some of the issues that have already come up. And then, as I said, we'll do that for 20 minutes or so, and then I'll open the session again up to more Q&A from you. So the first question that I had was, I'm really going to direct it to John first, and then perhaps Ed might want to make a comment, but it seems to me that people generally expect a lot of certainty from science. But the term uncertainty came up a number of times in the presentations and in the questions, and it seems that it comes up quite a lot in discussions about sea level rise. So what I'm asking is, what does certainty and uncertainty mean to you, John, as a scientist in the context of sea level rise? And then perhaps Ed might want to add a comment to that as well.
Okay, so there's several issues that I'll try and touch upon in responding to this. Firstly, none of our observations are perfect, and so we can only estimate the amount of sea level rise, both globally and locally, to a certain accuracy. And so all the plots I showed you, and we've been careful in trying to do this uniformly across all of the IPCC chapters, is to be careful on how well we know particular pieces of information and indicate that in the figures and in the numbers that we use. So you'll see the projections have a range. The range that I showed for the projections is what's called the likely range, so that's the 67% likelihood that the real sea level rise will be in that range. That doesn't mean there can't be higher or lower sea levels, but they're more likely to be in that central range. So that's one type of uncertainty or certainty. The second is things like the ice sheets. With the ice sheets, we don't adequately understand them, and we recognise that. And that's led us to the formulation of, well, how much extra could the ice sheets contribute? For the ice sheets, it's important to recognise that this uncertainty is one-sided. It could lead to a substantially larger rate of sea level rise than we've projected, but not a substantially smaller rate. So this one-sided uncertainty is something we need to be careful of. We need to keep observing both the ice sheets and sea level to identify any change that might be occurring in the ice sheets. The third item is we're projecting the sea levels and temperatures, etc. But we are not making the decisions about how the community, how society will respond